Welcome back. Well, let's talk about State Bank of India, which reported its Q3 earnings over the weekend. Their Q3 net profit fell 35% year-on-year. There was an exceptional charge as well, although their asset quality has improved and loan growth is at a 7-quarter high. Our colleague Ritu Singh caught up with Dinesh Khara, who's the chairman of State Bank of India, to discuss their Q3 performance and outlook going forward, and began by asking about that one-time exceptional item in the base year.
This was having two components. One was 5,400 crore, which was on account of pension difference. The other one was about 1,700 crore, which is on account of the dearness relief, which was payable to the retirees prior to 2002. So that is something which has been taken care of. No more provisions are required to be made on account of this one-time item which we have provided for. As far as the other item which I would like to talk about is, the increase in salary and wages.
Those negotiations are continuing.
Yeah, we started providing for it at the rate of 10% in November 22. Subsequently, we stepped it up to 14%. Now, there was an MOU which was entered into between association federations and the bank management. And based upon that MOU, this liability is likely to be about 17%.
Okay.
So based upon that, what we have done is we have provided additional about 6,100 crore in this quarter, which takes care of the liability at the rate of 17% from November 22 to December 23.
Got that.
And now we are required to make only one more provision of 5,400 crore for the last quarter. With that, our liability for, in fact, that will be only if at all it is not paid before during this period between January and March.
Okay.
Suppose if at all it would have been paid, then there is no additional provisions.
So there will be another one-time impact in the next quarter.
About 5,400 crore. So if you really look at it, 7,100 plus 6,000, about 13,000 crore.
Okay.
In the next quarter, we'll be required to provide only 5,400 crore.
Okay.
So we will be better off in terms of about 8,000 crore plus.
Margins have sequentially been coming down under pressure, and even this quarter this come in at about 3.22%. Do you expect this pressure to ease off anytime soon? At what level will you be able to maintain the margins?
See, roughly what happens is that our increase in interest rate has happened mostly in the term deposit. And that term deposit also, we generally see a significant portion of the term deposit coming in the 1 to 2 year bracket. And that is one of the reasons why I would say that since we have increased these interest rates somewhere in November, December, I would say that majority of the term deposits would have already got repriced. So only small bit of it would have been left out, which would be due for repricing. So that's the reason why I'm expecting that maybe it might have an impact of another maybe 2 to 3 basis points, not more than that.
All right. You obviously need for this kind of credit growth rate to sustain, which currently is at about 14-15% for you, the deposits to also catch up. And in the scenario that there's this wider gap between the two, do you think you'll stick with your guidance of 15 to 16% growth for the year? And do you expect it to go up from here, maybe in the next year?
I would say that if at all we look at the gap in the industry, because there the credit growth is at about 20%, deposit growth is at about 13%. So as compared to that, we are much better placed. So I don't expect that we'll have a scenario and rather have a much more comfortable position going forward. And that is something which we would like to work on and see to it that it works to our advantage.
But what could you tell us in terms of your expectations about your advances growth? Where are the sectors you're seeing demand? What is the level that you're targeting? Could you exceed your earlier guidance?
We have, I think in the past also, the guidance which I had given was somewhere in the range of about 14 to 16%. So we are on track as far as our loan growth is growing at 14% plus. When it comes to the corporate credit, we have got a pipeline which is almost as strong as about 4.6 trillion. So we have
largely in the private sector.
Yeah, it was almost about 75% would be in the private sector and 25% would be in the public sector. So
asset quality, let me get to that, and we're only getting to it now, which speaks volumes about how much improvement we've seen in the system overall. But this 40, 90, 60 crores of fresh slippages you've had in the quarter. Were there any bulky accounts, because it has risen sequentially? Are there any concerns, any surprises for you
In
there?
fact, we have already seen the reduction of about 900 crore pullback. There was one, of course, one account in particular was there, which has been slipped, which has got slipped essentially on account of the weakness in the account. So we'll have to look into this account and see to it that we do some restructuring.
But in terms of an outlook for FY24?
I think it is more or less.
So you're at 25
there is
basis points credit cost.
I think we should be in a position to. Our effort is to maintain at this level.
Okay, so finally, there's been a lot of concern in the market about what's going on with Paytm, with the regulator cracking down on their payment bank. First, if you could clarify for us if you have any sort of commercial relationship, any tie-ups for lending with Paytm that might get affected?
No, we don't have any such tie-up.
Okay.
And we maintain some account of theirs, and which is more like a settlement account.
Okay.
So we have no such issue as far as the Paytm bank is concerned, or maybe its impact on the bank overall.
But, given that SBI has come to the rescue of several, financial entities in the past, we wanted to understand, is that something you would evaluate at any point of time? Because you have, of course, your payment bank tie-up with Reliance. Is that something you would consider when it comes to Paytm Payment Bank?
We will certainly consider how to service such customers who are being serviced currently by Paytm, but nothing beyond that.